So this is Cars, one of only 2 songs I ever wrote on the bass guitar. I'm supposed to be this electronic pioneer, and this is my biggest song probably, written on a bass guitar. I went to London in early '79. I wanted to learn to play bass guitar better. I thought that was going to be an important part of where my songwriting was going to go. And so I went to London, Shaftesbury Avenue, got this cheap guitar called a Shergold modulator. Still got it actually, and got it home, sat down in I was living with my mum and dad in my mum and dad's room, opened the case, picked it up, and the very, very first notes I played were the do-do-do-do. And I thought, oh, that sounds cool. I was just doodling, practicing, but I wasn't trying to write a song. I mean, need something else, whatever. And over the next, it took about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. The musical side of it was all done. There's only 3 parts. It's very, very simple, bass-wise anyway. And it was done, I think, within 10 minutes. Certainly no more than that. The whole thing, from its structure, what the verses and choruses were, the little bridge part in the middle, was all sorted out and completely done. And then when we took it to the studio a few weeks later to work on it, I had a new synthesizer that I just discovered called a Polymoog, or Polymoog, I'm told they're called. And we started to play this track. The drummer's doing his thing and the bass line is doing its thing. And we get to the start, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in. And I pressed the 1 key, that note, and then I didn't know where to go. So I just sat there with it, thinking about what to do with it for a bit, and then did the run at the end of it. I thought it actually sounded quite good, just hitting the 1 note and not going anywhere with it, just leaving it. Now we go somewhere with it, kind of as an afterthought. And that became quite a feature of the song. And I've met lots of sort of different producer type people and so on. Now we talk about that as being a key factor. And it was really me just sitting there not knowing what to do, where to go with it next. And lyrically, not long before I wrote the song, I had an incident in London when I was driving, and I don't know what I did, but I obviously did something, because these people in front, in the van actually in front, suddenly got out of their car and came back towards me and were very aggressive and were kicking my car and trying to get me out and opening doors and trying to open the doors like that. Really frightening. And I'd obviously done something quite unfortunate. Whatever. So I end up, to get away from them, I end up driving up onto the pavement. Where was this? Hammersmith, I think, West London somewhere. And anyway, so I'm driving along the pavement, and there's pedestrians, I was panicking, pedestrians leaping out of the way. I'm properly on the pavement. And went off to the end and managed to get away from them. And lyrically, that's where that side of it will come from, about feeling safe in the car and so on and so on. And I started to think of the car as being kind of a tank for a civilian in the modern world. And I still think of them that way. But that's pretty much where it comes from, the whole song.
And people say, oh, are you sick of that song? I'm not sick. There's lots of songs that I get sick of. I'm not sick of If I Had a... Remember we were being interviewed and asked to name our favorite Bare Naked Ladies song?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really like Tonight's the Night I Fell Asleep at the Wheel. I really like Pinch Me. Jim said If I Had $1 Million.
We recorded it in London. I think even at the time we recorded it, the engineer, who was Mike Shipley, had no idea what the band was about. It was just lots of rehearsal and lots of trying to learn to sing through a studio mic at the time.